Hey everyone, Johnny here from Jettle. Welcome to another video. Now, if you have just finished your HSC or perhaps you've just started your HSC, I just wanted to provide a quick reflection on why I think the HSC is so unique and certainly provide a positive spin on the HSC as a very unique experience in your lives. When people finish the HSC, of course, the first emotion is often relief. A lot of people dread the HSC. A lot of people are bored of the HSC. A lot of people don't even like study. That's perfectly fine. There's always going to be people who enjoy study and who dislike study. But it's a really rare experience in life to have something like the HSC, such a specific goal that is shared by tens of thousands of people at one time. You're all in it together. There's this very unique and beautiful sense of camaraderie, and you're all working through a very difficult challenge. Now, certainly you're all doing it as individuals in terms of achieving your potential as individuals, but you all share that common goal together. You're all doing the same set of exams at the end of the year. And there's something really beautiful about that. And I know beautiful is probably not the adjective that a lot of you would use to describe the HSC, but I was just thinking about it, and you know, I'm now almost 10 years out, I'm 9 years out from the HSC. And when I think back on it, there really is nothing like it. Yes, you have university, but university is a lot more fragmented. You're often doing a course with 100 to 500 people at a time, maybe a couple of thousand, not 70 or 80,000 people. And university happens in semesters. You're only really dedicating yourself to things for 4 or 5 weeks towards the exam heavy part of the semester. So there's not that kind of 12-month build-up, and even 24-month if you count year 11, where everyone's talking about the lead up to the HSC. So all of that pressure, all of that build-up, all throughout high school, it culminates, it peaks in the HSC, and you guys have shared that together as one cohort, and that's a beautiful thing, right? It's something that unites you, it's something that everyone goes through. And I think when you look back at it, it's a beautiful period because you have all been striving towards achieving your potential. So it's a very important part of your lives. You're trying to show yourself what you're capable of when you apply yourselves. You're setting good habits in terms of your work ethic. You're developing that work ethic. It's going to feed into university. You're learning more about yourselves in terms of what your interests are. Maybe study and doing academia is not for you, and you're not going to university and you're going to do something else, to something more artistic. That's amazing. I hope that the HSC and high school as a whole has provided you with a heightened sense of self-awareness, because self-awareness is an amazing thing. It's going to lead you to happiness because it helps you become more conscious of what makes you tick as a unique individual. So certainly university and study is not for everyone, but you all doing that period of study together is a very unique time. There is a unique camaraderie that comes from that. I hope you all enjoy the period that has now begun, but now you have things like schoolies, you have trips away with friends, you might have an immersion coming up, you might have a gap year coming up. What a beautiful moment in your lives, and I just want to encourage you to really reflect on that a little bit. You're probably in the midst of some celebrations now, but some of you are probably feeling a little bit lost, a little bit disorientated, and that's completely normal as well. I certainly felt like that. I had a gap year after the HSC, and I didn't even cast my mind to what I was going to do. I ended up studying law and economics. I got into that, but to be honest, I didn't have a very good reason for doing that, and I can make another video on it. I'm very glad I did do that, including law, but I think that was more a choice that came from me knowing the things I didn't like doing, for sure, than me knowing exactly what I did want to do. It's very normal to not have an idea of what you do want to do. And I don't think there is one thing that you're going to do in life. I hopefully, especially in the world we live in today, it's an abundant world filled with opportunity. You're going to do many things, but you need to go through that process of learning that about yourself. For instance, when I did law, what I came out of it realizing was that I don't want to be a lawyer, but I loved learning it. Why did I love learning it? That's because I love education. So now we have Jettle. Now we are building this business where we're trying to make meaningful change in education. That's great. I got that from doing law because I realized how much I was admiring the lecturers and so forth. So I was taking that out of the experience more than the ambition to become a lawyer, if that makes sense. When I did economics, I wasn't so much thinking, oh, I want to be an economist, I want to work for the Reserve Bank. I was thinking, wow, I love learning about this kind of intuitive and logical way of thinking. Okay, so I'm going to take that out of it as my value. And we can talk about that in a separate video about what you really get out of university. I think it's how to think, and it's also the social aspect. They're the two key ones. But you have all of that to look forward to, and it doesn't matter if you don't know exactly what you want to do. It's natural to feel lost, but you will get there. You'll be fine. You'll start ruling things out over the next 5 or so years. It's really important though that you don't rush and that you don't pressure yourselves to figure this out straight away. It's very tough to figure it out. I certainly didn't know straight away. I just tried to kind of enjoy the ride, but I naturally over time, through self-awareness and through experiencing different subjects and exposing myself to different fields and teachers and things just about the world in general, just living as a human in this world post HSC, post high school, you will learn pretty quickly, as long as you are checking in with yourself and trying to reflect on what's resonating with you, you'll learn pretty quickly what works for you as an individual and what you are interested in and what you want to pursue as a passion. And you'll learn pretty quickly, even quicker, to be honest, as I was saying, you'll learn even quicker what you don't want to do. And that's really the key, right? So going forward, I hope you can somewhat appreciate the unique experience that you just had doing the HSC. I know for a lot of you, it was a very grueling experience. Congratulations on getting through that. It is going to, harden you up, so to speak, as an individual. It's going to make you more resilient. And you'll need that for the real world, the real world, as they say. 9 years after finishing the HSC, I'm looking back at that and thinking that was a really cool thing to go through. Cool, I know, might not be a word you would use, but it is cool because you all did it together. People are so rushed and hasty to finish the HSC. They're panicked, they want to get into university now, I want to get into my course. Relax, you have more time than you think, and you need more time than you think to figure things out. I'll talk about the idea of having a gap year in another video, but I really do implore you to slow down now, reflect on what you just did, be proud of what you've achieved. Again, even if you didn't enjoy the process of study or feel like you could have done a little bit more, that's okay. Take that on board and elevate yourself in the next challenge. Push yourself in the next challenge. Say, I don't want to have any regret, because that's the main thing. When you commit yourself to something, it's about going all in, giving 100% so that you can look back and say, hey, I really gave everything to that task. You can always improve in that way. If you're not satisfied with how you did over that year, in your first year of uni, I know lots of students who just ramp it up and they absolutely crush uni despite not going as well as they could have in the HSC. Or they'll go and do something that's non-academic, they'll do something creative, artistic. I shouldn't say non-academic, but hopefully you know what I mean by that. They don't go to university, they're not interested in studying theory is what I mean by that. And they're more into the creative side of things. They have that high level of creative intelligence and they go on to smash that. So good luck with whatever you do next. I'll be checking in. I'm going to make some videos about uni life and the gap year as well for those who are thinking about it or those who are already committed to doing that, just providing you with some tips. But if there's anything else I can cover on this, if you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. Like the video, would really appreciate that. And subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. More of these to come. Well done on finishing, or good luck to those who are starting, and we'll check in soon.